campers, how are you? It's me, Heather. I am going to walk you through a really fun activity today. We are going to watercolor a cactus. Isn't that cool? We're going to use our wet on dry technique and then wet on wet technique to create really fun shadows on our cactus plants today. I'm so glad you're here to join me. Let's go over the supplies we need for our lesson today. You're going to need a black Sharpie marker. Oop, hello. Sharpies work best because when you get a Sharpie wet, it doesn't bleed. Our watercolor today is going to get onto our marker, so we want to make sure we use a Sharpie. If you don't have a Sharpie marker, you could do the outline with pencil, that would be fine. You're also going to need some masking tape or some kind of tape to tape our paper down. We're going to get most of our paper wet today, so we want to make sure our paper is taped down to a solid surface. You're also going to need a nice watercolor paintbrush, or just a paintbrush that comes in your watercolor set will do. Watercolors, clean water, and then watercolor paper. All right, let's jump into our tutorial. We're going to start by learning how to draw a cactus. I'm going to show you 3 different versions of cacti. Did you know that when you say cactus in the plural form, it's cacti? Kind of a cool fact, huh? Okay, I'm going to show you on my paper how to draw a cactus. I'm going to show you 3 different ways, and then I'm going to show you some different ways to put your thorns on your cactus. Different cacti have various different thorns. Did you know that too? Some thorns are long and skinny and they just have 1 thorn. Some of them have 2 or 3 thorns. There are various different kinds of thorns when you're looking at different cacti. All right, for our first cacti, I'm going to show you how to draw a very easy, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but I think it looks kind of like a paddle, like the end of an oar, a paddle cactus. This is my favorite type of cactus to draw, and you can practice drawing this with me. So make sure you have a pencil or a marker and a piece of paper, and you can draw along. I'm starting with an upside down horseshoe. All right, so I just draw one large upside down horseshoe, and then I'm gonna keep repeating that pattern over and over again in different sizes. I'm gonna draw another upside down horseshoe that connects to my other one, and I like to draw it a little bit over to the side of the cactus, but you can draw it anywhere. And then another horseshoe. I might put a little horseshoe here and a little horseshoe here. And voila, I have a cactus. This type of cactus can have a flower on it if you want to add a flower. So sometimes I add a little flower to these smaller cacti on top. Our second cactus is probably our easiest cactus. It is just a straight up and down cactus. And it's like a very long U, upside down. The key to this cactus is you have to start in the middle and you pull a couple of lines down the middle of the cactus, and that is what gives the cactus ridges. Alright, so you could do this. You could do a second one just right off to the side. Some small ones there. So here's my other one. Another tip is when you're drawing your cactus, you can kind of add a little base to it and it looks like there's dirt. Alright, just a little squiggly line. And here is my third cactus. This one's a little difficult. It's kind of that one that looks like arms coming off of it. Your more traditional cactus. So I start with my arms. I start with my upside down U, kind of like my second one. I'm going to come around here and pull it in, pull that one in, and then I'm going to top it. I'm going to draw another arm, and I'm going to come down. And there is my cactus. It's a more traditional looking cactus. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to draw some thorns. You have a couple of options. Sometimes our cacti have ridges on it, like number 2. So if you have ridges on your cactus, you can do X's on the ridges. Here's another example. Or you can do V's on the ridges. Those are 2 different types of thorns that you can do on the ridges. Maybe you don't have ridges on your cactus like this one. You can just do some random V's around. Or you can do some little lines in different directions. Like that. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to do thorns. I'm going to show you one more because I like it. This one's easy. It's just lines down like so. That's a second way to do your thorns. So I have shown you how to draw 3 different types of cacti. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of thorns. Alright? Let's get to drawing our cactus plant. Okay, I have my paper taped down to my table. I want to make sure I tape that really good because I don't want my paper to bow up on me. Alright? This is watercolor, so if you get it on the table, it will come up with water, so don't worry about making a mess too much. We're going to start with our pot. We have to put our cacti in a pot. I like to come to about the bottom middle of my paper, and I'm going to put my pot there because I want the top half of my paper to be where my cacti are. So to do my pot, I do kind of a U shape with a flat bottom. And then I have to put my pot on a table, right? I can't have my pot of cacti just floating in the sky. I have to put it down on a table. So I'm going to come and draw 2 lines that look like it goes behind the pot. Now I have to give my pot an edge. Right now it's just open. So to do that, I'm going to connect the dots of these 2 lines, and I'm going to do it with just a little bit of a curved line, almost like a cup. Okay, I have my pot, I have my table. Now I have to put my cacti in. I'm going to start with my favorite cacti, the one that is like a horseshoe shape. I love that one. So, let's start 1, and then I'm going to add some on top. There we go. I'm also going to add a little bit of dirt at the bottom. I might add a flower or 2 to that. Oh, what a cute cactus. I love it. Okay, now I'm going to add another cactus. Now, if you want to stop at 1 cacti, good for you. If you want to do 2 of the same type of cactus, awesome. You can do that too. Because I'm showing you how to draw each type of cacti, I am going to draw the 3 types I showed you, okay? But you are the author of this picture. You get to draw whatever type of cactus you want. Okay, I'm going to come in with that more traditional cactus. Two, 3 types of cactus. Okay, so I added my dirt to the bottom. I have 3 very different cacti. And then to finish out the back, this is really the hard part, so watch closely. I'm going to come and draw little lines between my cacti and connect it to the back of my pot to make it look like it's 3D. All right, our drawing is done. Now we get to paint. Okay, campers, we're going to start with our pot, okay? We're going to paint our pot, and then we're going to paint our cacti, and we're going to paint the table, and then we're going to save the background for the very last part, all right? To paint the pot, I'm going to use some brown, and I'm going to use my wet on wet technique where I get my pot wet with some water. And then I'm going to add my first color of brown to my pot. I'm going to add kind of a lighter brown. Now, if you're up for a challenge, I'm going to show you how to put a little shadow on this side of our paper, okay? If we pretend that there is a light shining down this way, our shadows are going to be on this side of everything. So, if I want to shadow something, when I'm using watercolor, I will come in with just a darker shade while that's wet, a little bit of shadow to that. If you feel like the shadow is a little much for you, don't worry about it. It's still beautiful without the shadow. Okay, we're going to do our cacti now. We're going to paint our cacti. So I'm going to do a wet on dry technique for my cactus. I'm going to pick up a light shade of green. First cactus, and then I might add a little bit of a shadow like I did to my pot to the edge of my cacti. All of my cactuses will have this shadow. There. I'm going to go with a different color for my next cactus. I'm going to go for a darker green. I'm going to add my shadow. For my shadow, since I used a darker green, I might use a little bit of a brown. Okay, I have 2 cactuses done. Wait, 2 cacti done. Instead of a brown or a green, I'm going to use a blue to shade in this cacti. Sometimes you will see cacti we're gonna let these dry really well before we go back and add our thorns. We're gonna add our thorns on top of the paint. Okay, I'm going to also do the flowers. I want to do my flowers a really bright color, so I'm going to choose pink. Perfect. And remember, things don't have to look perfect to be perfect. If you get out of the lines a little bit, it's okay. We are here for the process of painting, not for perfection. All right, for my bottom table part, I'm going to choose a dark color. I'm going to go with gray. Okay, now it's time to do our backdrop. Our cacti are all green. Green is a cool color. If I show you my palette, all of the colors in green, blue, and purple are what we call cool colors. Cool colors remind me of water. And then over here are yellows, oranges, pinks, and reds. Those are all called warm colors. Since my cacti are all a cool color, I'm going to paint my background warm colors. I'm going to go with some yellow, orange, and pink. But you could go with yellow and orange. That would be fine too. If you want to do some of the cool colors also, feel free to do that. I'm just going to do some of the warm colors. Also, I will show you our example. I used cool colors in our example. So the background of this one is in cool colors too. So you can do either one. All right, I'm gonna choose warm colors for this one. Okay, for my background, I am going to do wet on wet, which means I'm going to wet my paper first, and I'm gonna work in sections, all right? So, and I like to start with my lightest color first when I'm doing wet on wet. I'm just going to touch that paint to the paper. Okay, thank you guys for joining me today. We painted some lovely cacti. We painted 3 different varieties of cacti. We painted a pot, we put our pot on a table, and we did some shading to add some dimension. You guys are awesome artists. I'm so glad you joined us today, and I cannot wait to meet you here next time for our tutorial.